Today I'm gonna show you how to build a realistic house in Minecraft. And this house right here was the house. It's a super simple starter house in Minecraft. Right here, yeah. Jesus. I'm just showing you so if you didn't see the video, this is what will be pretty much built. In the video is called how to build a super simple starter house in Minecraft. Okay, for now, for the house we need right here, you could use either andesite or diorite. We need polished diorite and diorite and granite blocks and polished granite. Same, we need also polished granite blocks and granite stairs. That's for the outside part of the house. So first of all, we need to get a shovel and outline the shape of the house. So we need to outline. So first we start in any place you want. We go 7 blocks out in like this direction. And then from this is like our starting point from 1, so we continue. So we continue 6 blocks, but it's actually 7 because of this. But we say it's 6 because this is like this is the starting point, and then we go all the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And here we this is like the 7th block. And then we just go continue like this until we match up with this. And we need it to be 9 blocks. And then we do the same thing until we connect from one side to the other like this. This is what we need. This is what it should look like. It is 7 by 11, and we should have a rectangle shape like this. And then we gotta build the house layer by layer. So for this we need to place diorite and polish diorite randomly. We need to do it like layers, so it looks like a properly textured house. And try not to put too many blocks together. Like this. And you could also just do a block, a random block number, and then you could do whatever. Like if you start with a polished diorite, you could then do diorite or polished diorite, whatever one you started on. And we need it to kind of be look realistic. And just so you know, it's really tedious to do this, but it's worth it when you finish it. So we have 2 layers done. It looks like this. It's gonna break these 2. I'm just gonna say, you don't want too many things connected together. We don't want like too much polished diorite in one place or regular diorite in one place. This is kind of it, but it's not that well. It's not that much. And we need to build at least 4 layers of the house using these 2 random like this. And this is kind of weird. We don't need that. Okay, and then when we finish, when we have the third layer, we need to get some granite stairs. First, we need to place them in any random way. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it, but we kind of need to add polished granite stairs afterwards. So, and then when we finish all of them, we could use like polished granite stairs. I mean. This. Okay, then when we finish the first layer, and maybe we could do this again randomly. We don't want it to look like there's like it's all one texture or nothing too realistic, so we need to put a mix of regular granite stairs and polished granite stairs, so it kind of looks realistic. And the granite and diorite should look really good together. After we do that, we need to get some polished granite stairs. And if you don't want to, you could use andesite instead of diorite if you don't think it looks good or you don't like it. This is like how I think it looks better as granite. And instead of the granite, if you're building it with, I would recommend regular cobblestone and this cobblestone and stone bricks. That's how I would recommend you building. If you don't like the granite, you would rather use andesite and polished andesite and stone and cobblestone bricks, stone bricks and cobblestone. And then first we need to build a staircase right here. So we place four polished granite blocks here in this corner. So if we were facing it like this, the door would be right here, and then we would come in and the stairs on the other side. And after we do that, we need to build stairs like this. We place square 2 stairs here, and we do this sort of pattern. And then we need to get some spruce planks. And also we put polished granite blocks here, polished stairs right there, and if polished granite stairs there. And since we need to do that, and you might also have to break some block next to it and place it, because otherwise it's gonna link together and it's gonna make like this sort of shape. If I do this, it's gonna do that. But if I break this and place this back, then do this, it's probably gonna go do like this. So to fix that, we break this, we place this here, we break that and place a stair wherever you place there, and we placed it, and it should be like this. After we have that done, we fill in all the floor like this. Like this sort of shape. And we need to place a block here like that. Make this like that, and after we have that, we should break the blocks underneath the stairs, just because we don't want to forget them. Then when we reach up here, we need to do the same thing as the walls on the bottom. We need to do an alternating diorite, and we need to also replace these two right here with granite or polished granite, and we just fill it in with granite or diorite, or not granite, diorite, polished granite or diorite. No, polished diorite or granite, and then we just do at least 4 layers again. At least this one is gonna be way easier since it's a smaller space than the bottom one, so it should be a whole lot easier. And we're pretty much almost done with the house, and then we need to break all these like that all the way over here, and then we use this polished granite first. We don't just leave it like that. It's just for the start. And we need it to be at least 4 layers tall to match up with the diorite. And then we could get some regular granite and mix it in. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to do it to make it look more textured. Okay, and then after we finish all that, the house should pretty much look like this so far. Right now it don't have any windows, so it kind of looks bad, but trust me, it's gonna look better afterwards. Then, after we do that, on the top here, we do the same thing as the bottom. We do an alternating polished granite and regular granite stairs. And when we finish, we gotta make 2 layers of it, just like here. Look, we have one stair here and one stair there. That's what I mean by 2 layers of stairs. And even on the diorite we do that. And afterwards we get regular diorite, granite stairs, and we just place them and connect everything together. And then after we finish connecting all of them, we do the same thing. And let's place some of those there. And then we do the same thing. Now we place in our granite stairs. It doesn't really matter if you do the polished granite or then the granite stairs. I'm just doing it like this way. After we have that, all we need to do is fill the top of the house with just regular granite, polished granite, in a mixed way. So it looks kind of natural, and So then the house should look like this so far. And then the house should look like this. And then we come inside and break all the floor. And we need to replace it with spruce planks. And even underneath the stairs, it's important. But we might really not need it, but for now we will. And then we come up here. There is obviously going to be some light because the stairs are up there. So now we need to get some windows. And they need to be glass panes, just regular glass panes, and we need to put them like this, and we need to place a pillar of regular granite diorite and polished diorite right here, and place 2 here. Look. So the house on the side, opposite from the stairs, we place 2 here with 1 block here, 2 blocks before we get to the end site right here. And for this, we do the same thing. 2 blocks, 2 glass panes, and then 2 blocks here until we get to the end site. I mean granite, not andesite. We don't really need a window here, but we could add one. 1 block on this side and 1 block on this side. And maybe 1 here too. 1 block on this side and 1 block on this side. And that's enough windows for the second floor of the house. Now for the bottom, we make 1 this big, 3 wide, and should be 3 blocks from under. It's like 3 blocks this direction until it reaches the wall, and from the other side, it should be 1 block until it reaches the door. And after we do that, we need to get the door and place it in. It needs to be spruce, and we need to place place 2 here. And after we do that, we need to get a barrel. We need to open them here, and we place barrels as an extra storage space underneath here. Even if you wanted to, you could just put barrels under the stairs, but I'm not gonna do that under the doors. I mean, like that. And here we need to place some on top of it. We need to place spruce planks right here, like this. And because this, if we didn't, we would have a gap in the stairs right here. That's why we place that there. And after we do that, we could clear our inventory. And now we start with the decorating part. We get some oak leaves and spruce trees. And we could also get some cherry saplings if you have access to them. And first we go outside and place a cherry sapling near the house. And maybe we could place a couple cherry trees around the house. One more here. And don't really place any in front of the door because we're gonna need it for something else. And then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the same thing as in the simple starter house in Minecraft. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna make kind of like a ripped line of past blocks. Don't make it look too perfect so it looks kind of natural. After we do that, we just get some bone meal around. And if you wanted to, you could even place another cherry tree here if you wanted to. And then we should have a house that looks like this so far. Kind of infested with cherry trees. But it's really cozy as well. And we also go and put flowers or bone meals around everywhere around the house. If you don't like tall grass, you could remove it, but I think it's a good looking thing for the house. Afterwards, you could, if there's any tall grass like what just happened here, you could remove it. Then you should have a house that looks like this. And for the vines, we need to scatter vines in random places. Like that. Don't make them look too perfect. And because if it looks perfect, it doesn't look really too natural. We don't need anything to be too perfect. Now I'm just gonna set the weather to clear for now. Afterwards, when the house is really done, rain is gonna make it look really good and super cozy. And first we need to at least start on the bottom floor with vines. And then we do it on the top floor. Some places you can't because of the cherry trees. You don't really have to put the cherry trees if you don't like how they look, but I think it makes the house look way more cozy. And then we get some oak leaves and make little bushes. And then we get vines and just stick them on them, and it will make it look super good and like realistic. And we could place a couple of them. We don't really have to put vines. It makes it look way better if you have the time, or the nearest jungle biome or swamp. You don't have to, but I think it makes everything look way better. And after we do all that, on the front of the house, next to the path, we get some spruce leaves and we kind of place them around, mixed in with oak leaves. And don't put vines on them because you just put vines and they look terrible, and only with some things like oak. And definitely don't place them on the cherry trees. It's kind of bad looking. And we might as well just make a couple shrubs or bushes around here. After we have all that done, after we have this, it's time to work on the inside. For the inside, we'll need any colored bed. I'll just choose red because it looks extra cozy. A blast furnace, a furnace too. And if you're playing on a version with shelves or with shelves, it's not a mod. It's regular vanilla Minecraft. So if you don't have them, maybe you need to update your game, but you don't really need to. Some bookshelves as well. And the blast furnace, a regular furnace, spruce shelves, bookshelves, and any colored bed. And after we do that, we need to get some armor stands and any kind of wall. And then I'll show you why. And then when we come inside, we also need a lantern and signs place the lantern wherever you want. First, right now I'm not gonna place it because we have certain things to do. Like this, we need to make a simple kitchen, and this is meant to be like a grill top. And we just place the shelves on the sides to cover them up. And then we practically don't need the shelf anymore. And for now, I'm gonna place a lantern next to the kitchen. Place signs on them. Like this. And then we have this fancy looking lamp. And then we go up to the second floor and do the same thing. Wait, what? Why do we have cherry trees growing inside the house? That's so for us to fix that, all we need and why is this sign down here? We just place a regular lantern here. Why do I keep getting the W? Okay. And then we could get rid of the signs and get honeycomb and wax all the signs, so no matter what, you can't click on them, and so you don't accidentally open them up. Like, I'm just walking, I try to click on the furnace, then I press on the sign and have to get out of the sign editing area, but you can't because the honeycombed it. Now you can't do anything to it. And we just place a regular lantern here. And for the outside, we could also place a couple lanterns around. Maybe even hanging from the trees. After we do that, after we place a couple lanterns outside, especially at nighttime, this thing looks beautiful from the outside. And now we could get any colored bed or whatever color you want to do it. Place it right here. We get a spruce shelf. And we place it in like that, and then we have a realistic bed I fell off. And for the shelves, you could also use them like fences or guardrail, pretty much, so you don't keep falling off. Why does it keep raining? Okay, and then we have the bedroom up here, and we have storage here underneath the stairs. And if you don't have enough space, you could also put more barrels, because I think barrels are way better because they don't make a lot of lag. And you could also place them around here, around the kitchen. You could even break one of these and place a couple barrels on the wall like this. Because if this was a chest, it would be impossible to open. And they would if you had a chest monster, it would make a lot of lag. So use barrels because they're way better. And it doesn't matter if you have a block on top. So it's really useful. And after we do that, we come up here to the bed area. We place that, an armor stand, here. We need to place if there's not enough space for you up here, or up there on the second floor. I didn't really need these barrels because I'm never gonna live in this house, but sadly I need to put 2 armor stands there like that. And we need to take out we need any wall, pistons, a lever, and we also need spruce planks because we're gonna break the roof, sadly, for one thing only, nothing. It's not for a bad reason. Like that. And then we place some polished anything right there, any block. And we need to place, well, I'm not gonna do this in this house, but this is also a trick thing if you want to do it. If you place an armor stand diagonally like this with 1 block here and 1 right there, place 2 blocks here, a wall right there, and then we come up here. We need to go actually 3 blocks up, and then we place a wall. We place 2 armor stands facing diagonally just like the same way, and we place a piston there, push it in there, and then we could put a piston here and push it like that. And we could make kind of like a clothing, like a closet area. I kind of messed it up, but it's fine because I'm not gonna build it for real. So what did we break? So we need again that's fixed. Now we could get rid of everything in our inventory. And since it's still midnight, it's actually not about to be midnight. But let me just set it to midnight, and we should put the weather on rain, and then we have a super cozy looking house, especially when it's raining. What is it? Okay, no one's doing that stuff. This house is super cozy during rain and nighttime, and the cherry trees and the lanterns. It looks really good. So let me give you a grand tour of the house. This is that. For the outside, we have cherry trees around with bushes, lanterns all around, a path walk letting you straight into the door, storage underneath the stairs, a kitchen area right here with plenty of storage, and the second floor with a bed, and we have for the whole thing an entire house built from blocks that very little people use, like diorite. Example, who really uses diorite? But when you use it in like this sort of way, it looks really good. So I hope you enjoyed today's video on how to build a super simple, realistic house in Minecraft. And bye. See you on the next video.